Hi guys, well it's day 105 and I'm pretty damn good this evening actually. I know it's late, it's about 25 past 8 or something like that, 20 past 25 past 8, so it's been a full 12 and a half hours or so. Since I took my medication, and I'm doing alright. I've had a really good day, and I must admit the meditation sessions that I've been having twice a day, you know, have been good. The session I have in the morning has been an absolute godsend because I sort of, I'm trying to aim for half an hour to meditate in the morning. But if I can't manage half an hour, I have to do at least 15 to 20 minutes. 20 minutes is probably just right. It's probably, it'll do. But I'm really trying to aim for half an hour in the morning, which is what I managed to do today. I managed it. I started my meditation about 7:05 this morning, and it ended about 25 to 8. But by then, I was all ready to go anyway. I was just like, I was showered, dressed, had breakfast, was literally ready to go. It was just literally a case of grab my bag, put my socks and shoes on and go. That was it. And I'm kind of getting into that routine now, where I get up, if I've got time to post a blog entry on here, I'll do it, right? And I'll jump in the shower, shave, get dressed, have breakfast, come back upstairs to my room, and then I just kind of get in the zone for 20 minutes, half an hour, so I can have a meditation. And I know I'm banging on a lot about meditation in this vlog today, but one thing I love about it is the fact that it just gets you attuned to the kind of deeper, more meaningful parts of yourself, and the more deeper and meaningful parts of your life, because it's all too easy to kind of get caught up in the bustle and all the activity and the sort of vibrant metropolis, if you like, but there's a lot to be said for the quiet moments, and the quiet moments are very rare these days. They're not particularly good when we do get them, because we kind of rush them. We think, right, I've got a quick 5 minutes, right, go. And it's almost like people are timing themselves. Time is money. Oh, I've got to rush. I've got to rush. I've got to go. I haven't got time. See you. It's just like everybody's just in a big hurry, and I'm like thinking, chill your beans, guys. It's just really unnecessary to be this kind of obsessed with keeping time. I mean, yeah, all right. Punctuality is important. It's very important. But I sometimes think that we get so caught up in the humdrum and the day-to-day that we forget about the things that really matter. Like just taking time to stop, just to slow down. Even if you're at work, give this a try, where if you feel like, because this is helping me a lot as well, in addition to the meditation sessions that I've been having, that I've actually been conducting on my own. I mean, I'm sufficiently trained to be able to do it myself anyway. I mean, I don't have any formal accreditation as such, but I am trained. I do know exactly what to do. And literally, you can just grab like a couple of minutes here and there where you can just kind of shut your eyes. You can even do it, you don't even have to get out of your desk chair. You don't even have to move from your desk if you're at work. You can just literally shut your eyes, right? Maybe take the phone off the hook for, a minute or two, and just kind of take a deep breath, just as I'm demonstrating, like this, and then just let it out. That kind of thing. And it's really, really good, because it just kind of centers you, and it makes you think, I'm getting caught up in something that doesn't matter here. I can feel myself getting aggravated. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to shut my eyes, take a breath, maybe take another breath, and exhale, like that. And then open your eyes again. It's that simple. That's really all meditation is. But obviously a more in-depth version of that. It's not just it's not just a case of closing your eyes and kind of sitting in position. Although that's important, you have to kind of try and empty your mind of all distractions. And with mindfulness meditation, which is the meditation that I've learned, which is what I learned when I was in the sixth form many, many years ago. I know I'm old, but yeah, I am. I'm very, very old, and I certainly feel it today. But no, the kind of meditation that I learned was mindfulness meditation, where when you get started, you just kind of sit comfortably in a chair, on the floor, or lie down. The choice is yours, really. I mean, I personally prefer to sit on the floor with my legs crossed, or or if I'm at home, I'll sit on my bed with my legs crossed and just do it that way. But you can do it sat in a chair, you can do it lying down even, it doesn't matter. And what you've got to try and do with mindfulness, what the main sort of essential principle is, focusing on the moment that you're in, that precise moment that you're in, and you're paying particular attention to your breath. So when you breathe in all the positives around you, all the positive energy around you, and when you breathe out all the negative energy that's kind of holding you back and dragging you down. And that's basically it. I mean, if you wanted to, you could kind of take it a step further and do a kind of a visualization kind of thing, where you could sort of, once you've actually got yourself comfortable enough and you've kind of become aware of your breathing and the position that you sat in, or whatever, once you've kind of got that sorted out, you've got the basics down of your environment, what you can do then is you can start to kind of go on a journey in your mind, if you wish, you know, which is what I did. You know, it was kind of a visualization type thing. And one particular sort of scenario I always like to visualize is actually sitting on a beach. Just sitting on a beach or walking along a beach and just watching the waves ebb and flow, you know, and just listening to the sounds and feeling the spray of the ocean on your face and, you know, things like that. You know, I'm not really a big beach person, but there is one beach in Valencia. You know, there's a really, really nice beach in Valencia in Spain called El Cabañal, and it's absolutely gorgeous. You know what I mean? I went there for the very first time. I visited that beach for the very first time in October 2012, and that was, you know, that time was all, you know, October 2012 was actually the very first time I'd even been to Spain. I'd never even been to Spain before 2012. And my sister was working a lot of the time, because my sister lived there for about a year. Just over a year, in fact. And a couple of months after she moved over there, I went to visit her, you know, in October of 2012, because she, as I say, she got a teaching job over there, so that's, you know, and then she got an apartment and got herself set up and everything, and I went to stay with her for, you know, a couple of weeks, and because she was working and, you know, not able to spend a great deal of time with me, that actually did me a really big favour, because what it did was it forced me to get out of my comfort zone and kind of explore, because I'm a big explorer, right? I always have been, you know, because I think when you're on holiday, I always think that just kind of vegging out, you know, in a chair, just soaking up the sun, that's fine, you know, lots of people enjoy doing that, but for me that's not enough. You know, I have to see things in the country that I'm in. I have to get out and about, I have to take photographs, I have to visit museums and, you know, and go to lots of places. But there were times, I think, especially I think it was usually like on a Tuesday afternoon or something, sort of early afternoon, like around lunchtime, when everyone's at work and the kids are at school or whatever, I'd actually sort of take a little tram ride, because the good thing was, where my sister lived was only like a 10-minute tram ride from the beach, so it was just literally a case of, you know, and the tram stop was literally like 30 seconds walk from her apartment, and I'd often sort of just go out sort of, you know, early afternoon, and I'd take a trip on the tram, I'd go to the beach, I'd kind of sit there for a bit, soak up the atmosphere and the waves, and, you know, just fresh air, and felt the spray on my face and everything else, and you know, just kind of take it all in, and it's just nice just to sit there in the shade on a bench between like two palm trees and just relax and just reconnect with the things that matter. reconnect with the everyday, the sort of, you know, the little things, the simple sort of pleasures of life, you know, the things that actually make you realise what life is actually about. You know, and I mean, the irony of it is, not only am I not a massive beach person, but I also can't swim. So the fact that I actually like sitting on a beach and watching the ocean, you know, is quite weird considering I'm a non-swimmer. But you know what? It never fazed me at all. You know, it was never a case of, oh, you know, if the tide comes in, I'm going to drown. You know, that kind of. No, I was just kind of there, and I could sit there for hours. And I often did actually. Some days, you know, I'd get there about half past 12. You know, I'd have a bit of a walk around, then I'd have lunch, and by about sort of 2 o'clock, I was ready to just kind of sit there, and I'd sit there on a bench, or you know, on the edge of the sand, you know, on the edge of the shore, and I'd just watch the waves ebb and flow. Get my words out. And that was always kind of very relaxing for me. It always was, you know, and it kind of gave me a love of, you know, of the feel of a beach. You know, as I say, the lapping of the waves, the ebb and flow, the spray of the ocean, you know, as I've just mentioned, the sun, the palm trees, you know, the cool sort of sea breeze that accompanies the sun, you know, those kind of things, you know, they're just really life-affirming things, you know. It's kind of, you know, it doesn't matter what else is going on in the world, you know, those things are kind of like constants, aren't they? You know, the tide's going to keep going in and out, in and out, in and out. The sun's going to rise and set and rise and set and rise and set. You know, and people are always going to walk along the sand. Sometimes they might stop for a minute and reconnect with themselves and reflect on a lot of things. I mean, some people probably think I'm a little bit weird in the sense that I do a lot of reflection. I do, you know, and I don't think there's any shame in it, because especially now that I'm older, I will do a lot more reflecting than I used to, because I think I'm at an age now where my priorities have changed quite a lot. You know, I mean, there are people my age. I mean, I'm 41. You know, I'm not only old enough to be a father, I'm old enough to be a grandfather now. You know, I'm old enough to have grown-up children, never mind children. But, you know, it just hasn't happened yet. And I think one of the reasons for that... Sorry, I just accidentally put my thumb over the camera lens there. And that's why it went a bit black for a minute. But I think one of the reasons for that is because I think I need to learn some lessons about life first. There are things I need to learn about myself before I can commit to anybody else, if that makes any sense at all. I know I'm kind of going in and out, and I'm, you know, this video today, you know, this vlog today is a bit on the choppy side in terms of the image, because I'm kind of doing this, you know, just sort of rocking back and forth, and, you know, because I'm just sort of really chilled. And I know I probably sound like I'm on some kind of trip, but I'm not. You know, this is apart from obviously taking my meds this morning, everything else is like a natural high. I would imagine the meds have worn off now, but it's kind of a case of, I'm reconnecting with the things that matter. Something that I've needed to do for a long time. And I'm not going to punish myself for the fact that for a long time I didn't connect with the things that mattered, because I'm not going to punish myself for that, because that was a lesson I needed to learn, and I needed to learn it the hard way. Because sometimes you need to just be left alone to make your own mistakes and come to your own conclusions and redeem yourself in your own way. That's it. There's no mystery behind it at all. There's nothing like that. And there's a lot of noise outside. There's a lot of kids playing out, but it's Friday night. They're kids. What are you going to do? But anyway, I do feel a lot better about a lot of things now, because I've had some counselling. I've got everything out in the open. I've got everything out in the open about how I feel, about the things that have dogged me for so long, things that I've not felt comfortable talking about for a very long time, and it took a crisis, like a mental breakdown, for me to realise that I needed help. And I'd been off work for 5 months, and that was just something that I had to do for myself, and I had to make sure that I was doing it for the right reason, not just to please anybody else. There have been lots of people who've given me so much support and so much advice, but in the end, I think with a journey such as this one, there's only so much advice you can take before you turn around and say, you know what, well, you'd say this to yourself, you would never say this to anyone who's giving you advice, because obviously they're trying to help. But you'd say, right, I have to do this for me, and I have to do it this way, because this is the way that works for me. And I know this is a very, very long vlog today, but because it's over 23, I've been talking for over 23 minutes now. It's the longest vlog I've done, I think, so far. I think prior to this one, the longest one I did was about 20 minutes. But anyway, you have to find the right path for you. Just because something works well for one person, it doesn't necessarily mean it'll work for you. But that doesn't necessarily make it a bad thing if something doesn't work for you. If something doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. You have to find what works for you, and go with it, regardless of what anybody else says, thinks or does. Because there are people in this world who wouldn't understand it. They don't understand this sort of journey. And they never will until they experience anxiety and depression for themselves. There are lots of people who think I've been taking the piss for 5 months. But I know I haven't. Because I know that I've needed to get stuff out of myself for a very, very long time. But I was stubborn and proud and, just pig-headed, really. But I'm not going to be like that anymore. There are moments now where I just kind of think, yeah, I'm on the right track now. I am. I'm totally on the right track. But yeah, I've been talking for 25 minutes now. Just over 25 minutes. So I'm going to go, right? Because you're gonna need some serious stamina to get through this vlog. Because it is, as I say, it's a very, very long one. It's over 25 minutes. But take care, have a nice weekend, and I will speak to you tomorrow. See you guys. Bye.